Hello and welcome to the kitchen table. I'm Alison South, the team vicar in Melksham Team Ministry, and it's really good to have you join me today. Today has been, in Melksham at least, a bit of a wet day. It's been quite heavy, it's almost felt, with the rain coming down. And yet with the rain there is a freshness. And we still continue in lockdown, and we still continue in the situation we find ourselves across the country. Tonight we will be going out and sharing in clapping for those who are our key workers in all sorts of varieties of jobs, in the NHS, in teaching, in lorry driving, in postal work, in so many different roles. People who are working to bring us everything that we need at the moment. What do you need at the moment? It's an interesting question, isn't it? I went earlier to go and grab some shopping. I had to go to the doctor's and made a double trip, so I grabbed some essentials from the shop. And as I was thinking about what it is I need at this time, and none of it was about loo rolls or bread or anything else, I was actually thinking what I need actually is some peace. You can't go into Sainsbury's or Waitrose or Asda's or anywhere else and say, oh, could I have a pound of peace please, and bring it home with you in a bag. Sharing the peace is something that Christians do whenever they gather together and have a service. Sharing the peace can seem very odd if you've not been used to going to church. In some places it means you walk around, you shake hands and you say, peace be with you. And somebody else will say, and also to you. And then you go around and you shake everybody's hands. Just before we had complete lockdown, sharing the peace in churches was already a bit problematic. We were thinking about hands and how we shouldn't be holding everybody's hands one after the other, spreading whatever virus might already have been around. We had started in St Andrews to turn and face each other across the aisle and to sing peace to you. Another word for peace is shalom. But there is something even deeper about the word shalom. It means more than peace. It means about everything that you need. It's about completeness. It's about being whole. Shalom is a word that is used to describe everything that you might need, including peace, but everything you need to feel safe and secure in your world and in your place. And shalom is often used as a greeting in the Jewish community for either hello or goodbye. But shalom is that intention of peace and wholeness, tranquility, everything you require. When you offer that to someone that you meet, that's a really powerful spoken word. So for many of us, sharing the peace is something we haven't done for a long time. We haven't had an opportunity to do that with those we care for and love, because we are living separately. And it's one of the things that I most look forward to being able to do, to hold hands and to say, peace be with you, with an entire community. Often in St Andrews, when we are sharing the peace, we would hold hands in a complete circle, joining around the church and saying, peace be with you. So peace to our whole community, as well as individuals. Peace in troubled times is a very difficult thing to achieve. Peace in your heart, peace in your mind. And for many of us, the days are being filled with activities to stop us having those quiet moments where we realise just how much we are missing peace. Even if you are in the quietness of a house on your own, to find peace is not always easy, because we live with our minds and we live with all the worries that we allow to crash in on our days. So how do we find that peace, and what does that mean for us? In John's Gospel, I want to share with you a passage. Jesus has been talking to his disciples. He's been trying to explain to them that grief will turn to joy. That's sometimes a really hard concept, isn't it? When you think of your darkest moments, your deepest fears, the things that you dread most in the world, and they happen. When you think, I'll never get through this. It's beyond me. And yet, we do. Jesus, in this passage in John's Gospel, was trying to get his disciples to understand that there will be pain, there will be suffering, but they will get through it. So from chapter 16 in John's Gospel, I just want to read verse 33. He says, I have told you these things so that in me you may have peace. In this world you will have trouble, but take heart. I have overcome the world. Wow. Take heart. I have overcome the world. And Jesus, in his death and resurrection, takes a sting out of death, which is the greatest pain that we can endure, the loss of a loved one. Or the greatest fear that we would endure is looking at our own death. And into the very heart of that, Jesus comes and breaks that by his resurrection. And he says, I have come so that you may have peace. The most valuable gift of all. Too precious to be able to buy. And something that we can offer to one another and to seek in our own hearts when we draw closer to Jesus. So even in the midst of madness, when you can't go and buy a bottle of peace off the shelf, we know where we can look for it in our relationship with Jesus. And we know how we can try and work towards it in our own households. And that's not without challenge. How do you find peace in a house that's fairly chaotic and intense and with nowhere to escape to? How do you find peace in isolation, entirely on your own with your own thoughts and fears? How do you find peace when you seek it? I think prayer is a good place to start. And sometimes in the madness of life, when peace feels like it's a million miles away, and I can't always find the words for prayer, because like everyone, there are days where it's hard. And I just pray for peace in my heart. And I literally say, Jesus, I pray for peace in my heart. And it's amazing the stillness that will sometimes befall you when you do that. There might be days where you can pray it and not feel it, but keep seeking. Keep looking for that shalom, that sense of wholeness, sense of perfection and peace, all in together in that place of love and safety. So today, I say to you, shalom. I hope you find peace in your hearts, in your homes, and in your communities. And maybe tonight, as you join with your neighbours and you're clapping, maybe you can say shalom to one another across the 2-metre divide. and just share that sense of peace and love and wholeness with one another. It's been good to catch up again. Do come and join me again soon. Bye bye for now. Stay safe. God bless.